Hey everybody, it's Melissa and Rob with VBT here, and we have the always wonderful Chris Cianciulli and Sean Rosenfeld of Connects with the My Mistakes podcast that just premiered this morning. How's it going, Chris?
It's going great, and Jose just made me laugh before we went live, so I'm laughing.
Perfect.
I'm laughing over that. But thank you so much between you, Rob, taking the time to put this together. This is unbelievable. How could we say no?
Happy to help.
Of course, happy to help.
So we premiered the podcast this morning, Sean and myself, and so far it's getting a good response. People reaching out, messages, and I asked a couple of people who responded right away this morning after they heard the podcast. I asked them about 15 minutes ago, what are you guys doing? Because actually longer, like 45 minutes ago, I asked, I said we're going to be going on Facebook Live. And then after speaking to Melissa and Robin, them asking, why don't we do it like this, and love to interview you and find out what you guys are doing. How could I say no? So I apologize to Jose and Jacqueline for keeping you guys so long. But Jose, if you could kindly, we'll go to Denise. Yeah, I was going to say, who wants to speak first? I want to see what your thoughts were on the podcast. If you liked it, feedback, any questions about it, please.
All right. You said I start, right?
All right.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Get the ugly guy out the way first. So what I liked about it, I'm gonna run a spin-off and call it the Better You Than Me podcast. Just because it's good. Yes, we're always learning and things like that, but it's nice to hear about mistakes. And the fact that you can laugh about your mistakes, it's pretty phenomenal. And I think one of the things that I appreciated the most was just your sincerity and your honesty, because you go about and you say, the ideal answer is I wouldn't change anything because I wouldn't be where I am now. But then you go off and you say, my first thing I would have done was shut up. Shut up. Because honestly, most people talk more than what they listen. The cliche one, we have 2 ears, one mouth. A lot of people just like talking. I like if you know business, you know business, right? It doesn't really matter what industry, as long as you know how to work with people. And I believe Dale Carnegie has a book about that. And how he made the most millionaires in a time when most people made like $500 in a month. And what was the other takeaway? Those are the two main ones for me. And go in it alone. Don't worry about getting a partner to share things with, learn on your own, because you'll be surprised at what you can actually accomplish on your own.
Thanks. You summed it up beautifully. It's like $500 for the year, not for a month.
Yeah.
But
so did I do my script well?
No, you did. And you made a mistake there, but now you learned from it. So next time you tell the Dale Carnegie story, you'll say $500 for the year. See, you learned from your mistake.
Yeah. I should have had my notes in front of me.
What about your better half? Denise, what do you think?
So there were three things. You can still hold it. What are you doing?
I want them to see your beauty.
I want them to see. This was not scripted. He doesn't know what I'm going to say, just for the record. There were three takeaways listening to your podcast. The first one was, to start, you said smart people learn from their own mistakes. Wise people learn from their own and others' mistakes. So that was one. Two, that you're not going to make money day one. And three, frankly, Chris, I personally want to say thank you. I look forward to the day where I can meet you in person. Having the right network around you is crucial. And Jose met you weeks before all of this started. And I've seen him grow into such a bigger, better person because of it.
Not muscular-wise, though.
No, that's me.
Jose, that was the most amazing compliment I've ever gotten from someone, and you screwed it up. Denise, can you start over again and do it all again? Oh, Jose. See, Jose, that's why you have to just shut up and listen.
There you go. There you go. Right.
Can I do a mic drop?
Yeah, you just gotta drop it. That's all.
Yeah, exactly.
Anything, and you just gotta drop it. That's all.
And done.
Anything else, Denise, you wanted to add to that wonderful testimonial? No, thank you. That means it really is amazing. And I've got to give Jose a compliment back. He's very witty and fast, and I appreciate people like that. And I was not going to make any kind of comment against Sean because I saw Sean look up. He thought, and I'm used to every day dealing with someone who's not, which is not the case. It's thank you, Denise, really. And I look forward to meeting you, and we must get together when we can all get together. Jacqueline, what do you think? What were your thoughts?
Well,
Why did I say this twice? Sorry.
What the what? Well, my thoughts, one, I think you and Sean are a great team. You know, you really play off each other, and it's great. And My Mistakes is a great podcast because a lot of people make mistakes and you learn from your mistakes, but most people, they don't learn, so they don't move forward. I think people who are starting small businesses should listen to the podcast because they'll hear the mistakes you made and possibly maybe it'll resonate with them and they'll say, oh, wow, you know what, that sounds like something I'm doing. And then they'll possibly, change the way they're doing things. So this podcast is amazing. It's a great thing because you'll be helping small business owners succeed because they are listening to mistakes and you did learn from them. And also I like the fact that at the end you mentioned how you met your wife, and that was great. I love that personal touch. It's just a great podcast between the two of you. It's, you're the funny, crazy one, and Sean is more mellow, but Sean is very witty too. He's got that dry sense of humor. And I urge everybody to listen to this podcast because it's a really great learning experience because you're learning from mistakes that somebody made with their small business, and that might help you, maybe think about things that you're doing. So I really enjoyed it, and I look forward to other episodes and see it. I know it's going to be a success because everything you guys are doing right now, you're touching it, it's becoming gold. So it's going to be great.
Thank you. It's I think those things around that are going well that we touch, as you phrase that. Mm-hmm. I truly believe it's because of the community. I started saying last week, the bigger your community, the greater the opportunity. And I really believe that if you surround yourself by positive people, people that are forward thinkers, people that look at the big picture, I've always believed that look to where you want to be and first establish that. Then figuring out how to get there, that's the fun part. And too many people think they need to figure out the journey, how to get there before they get there. And it's like if you were going to climb a mountain, you've got to first look up the mountain, see the peak of the mountain, look to where you want to get to. You don't start climbing and then open your eyes and say, oh, that's where I'm going. And I think it's probably one of the biggest mistakes that people currently with this whole situation going on with being quarantined. And I look at it as a lesson where even with what we're going through with the quarantine, 3 things are going to happen to a business. 1, it's going to go out of business. 2, they're going to survive, but that's it. Or 3, they're going to thrive, go above and beyond. Because if each business, like those who are in Connects, we are a business development team that networks and refers business to one another. When you have a situation like this, you need to look at how fast COVID-19 is spreading. The way that you reach people can spread just as fast. And I don't even like the term social distancing. I look at it, let's call it physical distancing. You can still be physically distant to someone, but socially stronger than ever. So in the last, however long, 2 months, it's the first time I think first, second, third time I ever went on Facebook Live or doing something like this would have been totally out of my comfort zone. So when you are faced with something that you've never gone through before, you need to think of doing things that you've never done before because there's so much opportunity there. And again, opportunity and community go hand in hand. So the larger that we've all made our community through these last 2 months, the opportunities just keep presenting themselves. Just like to reach out to Melissa, be talking for a minute, boom, this whole thing come together. I love that. And I love doing things on the fly because too many people talk themselves out of doing something. You said a wise person learning from others people's mistakes. I was given so much good information from billionaires who I was working with, and I was their trainer, and advice was given to me that I look back and I just think, why didn't I listen? Like, they warned me that was going to happen. And if there's one thing I learned in business, in life, with raising children, which I have a 3 and 6 year old, so they're hardly raised, but someone told me a great line. They said, stop trying to tell your children not to do something. Children don't listen, they observe. So if you show or you present an example, people are going to follow that. So it's stop trying to teach people and instead just demonstrate the behavior, demonstrate the kind of person that you want to be, and others will be touched by that. And that will impact other people and really influence choices that they make. So I'm hoping with this podcast, and the reason for doing it was I've learned a lot and taken a lot from people. And when I've shared the stories or some of the things that I've gone through, I forget so much that I've gone through. And even talking to Sean and discussing things that went on when I was 21, 22, 23 years old, that was past me. Like I forgot about it. So now bring it up, I realize, and I don't think very many people reflect on their life and think of how many times they've made the same mistake over and over and over again. And that leads to loss of businesses, loss of relationships, loss of marriages, because it's not trying to improve and change. And to me, someone that doesn't evolve, it's like J.D. Salinger said in Catching the Rye, things in life that don't evolve, they die out. And that's business, that's relationships. And unfortunately, it's people. Because if you don't do anything to evolve as a person, you become out of shape, unhealthy, and you suffer with your life and your health. So thank you for watching. Thank you for the feedback. It really means a lot. Sean, what about you? What did you think after you heard it? Did you like the end result? Were you impressed with how great you sounded on mic?
Honestly, one of those people who, after I listen to myself, I'm like, I hate my voice. But there's not many ways to change that, unless.
Sean, in all honesty, I swear to you, it really did sound good. Like when you from the first time we recorded it, if we could play that back, the improvement that you made in 24 hours. I said to Laura, my wife, I said, I've got to say, Sean sounds awesome. Like, I don't know if it was the bourbon that he drank right before he recorded or what, but I said he changed overnight, unless it's the microphone I sent him, but probably not. It's probably Sean. So, God, Sean really improved in 24 hours.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to doing more of these. And overall, it was a great experience. You know, I think, learning from other people's mistakes and their experiences, it really shows, kind of a timeline of how they got to where they are today. So I think over time, when we interview, different people, it's just great to hear from others how they got to where they are today, and what they would change, what they wouldn't change, and if you take a little piece or a little piece of advice from each person and kind of mold it into yourself, it'll really be helpful to so many people. So I think overall, it's a great start, and I look forward to what this has to come.
Sean, you besides just us podcasting and doing that together, I think a huge accomplishment. I think you do learn from your mistakes, but I think you also sometimes people are afraid to take a chance and afraid to make a mistake. And when we first met, you told me that one of your greatest fears was speaking in front of people, and you get nervous or anxiety, and that you've overcome that by getting out there. And when you told me that you don't like to speak in front of people, that's when I immediately said, hey, could you co-host this in the afternoons at 12 noon with me? Because the second you expose a vulnerability, I have this sick, crazy thing where I like to change people. Ask my wife. No, improve people, as I tell her.
Well, once you get over 100 people, you're gonna have to find someone else.
But for you to face and confront something that you were afraid to do, and again, so many people will take such small baby steps and ease themselves into something. And I believe in the philosophy, throw someone in the pool and they'll either swim to the side or they'll drown. So I figured if I got you in front of an entire audience of people watching, you were either going to be great or you were going to be horrible. And if you had been horrible, then we try to find how to improve it. Because also, I don't believe in giving up on people. So you let someone, when you give up on people, that only reinforces why they are afraid to try things. Because each time they try, if they are criticized or put down or made fun of, they're going to be too shy and scared to do it again. And I believe fear is an acronym for false evidence appearing real. But you can have a fear if someone constantly is criticizing you or putting you down, which didn't happen. And on Earth Day, when we were with movers and doing the Cushware, doing that broadcast, my internet went down because I was working off a hotspot. I dropped out at a key moment and left Sean all alone. And he was phenomenal. He was funny. He was witty. He had a great line. And to see him do that, I was like a proud parent. I was watching the replay and I was like, wow, Sean was really good. And that's when I said, you know what? I'm not going to let him go tomorrow. We're going to go another week and we're going to see where this leads to. So I want to say you've come such a long way and really done an amazing job.
Thanks. Thanks for mentoring me along the way. Appreciate it.
Well, you're better at running Zoom than me, so I can't criticize and have you go anywhere because I can't learn this whole platform.
Well, so. now that Rob came in, I have some competition.
I am merely just a broadcast facilitator, nothing more.
You're the best,
Rob, try not to talk. Use the chat because your voice sounds better than mine, and then Sean's going to end up replacing me. Be like, hey, Rob, you want a podcast? Have you made any mistakes, Rob?
I can always.
How do you look with a beard, Rob? Can you grow it out more?
I've been. This has been a work in progress ever since the beginning of quarantine. Because usually, if I'm going to like work or professional stuff, I can't really grow it out because it usually just goes like scraggly and stuff. But this is finally the opportunity to like let it kind of see what happens. So I'm doing my best.
No, we look like twins. Hold on,
I'd seen a hat. Yeah, I'll try my best.
Yeah, no, very, very similar look, like twins.
I can always make myself sound worse.
You can.
I can always do some weird adjustments and stuff.
No. In the future, when we get on together, do what you can to make my sound better. But I'm learning as we go. Made just in setting up the podcast, and when we got started doing this, I've made numerous mistakes. I have a bunch of equipment to my side thinking that I didn't need to watch the rest of the YouTube video to learn how to podcast. So I bought the wrong equipment. So that's a mistake. During COVID-19 to try to go buy the wrong thing and then go back for a return. What's that, Jose?
Spoiler alert. That's your next interview, man. Stop.
I've got so much to talk about in these 41 years of life. Wait, take that back. I have so many mistakes in these 41 years of life that filling airtime will not be a problem in the slightest. And I was thinking of just today when I was walking this morning on my infamous 4-mile walk, I was thinking of future podcasts and I started writing them down. And I was almost embarrassed thinking, wow, you would have thought I would have stopped trying to do businesses and gone and gotten a job somewhere by now. But it's a good thing that my memory forgets those things. Instead of looking back, it's looking forward. And Jose, you like this one. That's why when you're driving in a car, your front windshield is so much larger than the rear view mirror. You should keep your attention forward in life, looking around, and every now and then give your attention to the rear view mirror and see what's behind you. Like that one?
Love that.
Yeah. I'm waiting for an original though.
No, I'm waiting for you to write it down. Escribe.
I'm holding the camera.
Is it getting heavy now? Because I see it starting to go down.
Yeah.
After opening 2 jars today, your arm might be tired, so the arm is dropping. I think that was a middle finger or a toe. I don't know.
That's funny. I'm glad I put out good content.
Phenomenal. And
phenomenal.
Melissa, Rob, you guys have seen people podcasting. You've seen people on video. How funny is Jose? Because he's another one that's so just, I'm nervous. What do people want to see? I don't know what to put out. Is he not just gold? Tell him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Flawless. And you know what? If you're natural at it, that means you're, it's the most effective content when you can do it and you can do it naturally and it just exudes confidence. So you got this.
Yeah, even like the first couple of times that me and Melissa really took a stab at doing broadcasts and doing it in this kind of setting, it's not something that always comes like naturally. It didn't come naturally to me. Even me sounding the way that I do right now didn't come naturally. But at the very least, like when you, it's more of like being able to like speak and have presence is like something that it's such a hard thing to teach people. So especially when you're able to do that and when it kind of like comes naturally to somebody, it's like really good to see. So I'll definitely say that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course.
You're a wordsmith, Jose. What can we say? A wordsmith.
I'm waiting for what he's gonna say. Longer.
I'm gonna have to look that one up. Words.
It's not one word. 2 words.
Thank you for letting me know. It's 2 words. Okay.
I don't want to get confused. I don't want to get confused with the dictionary or the thesaurus. It doesn't have it in here. It's a thesaurus. So thank you guys, Melissa, Rob. It's again, to watch professionals and people who do this very well. Sean and I can see what we need to, how much more work we have to put in, and how to perfect our sound. Sean, take notes. But I really believe we all learn from each other. And again, that's the importance of having a community and having people around you. Everyone's heard the expression, be around smart people, be the dumbest person in the room. Mm-hmm. I don't think that really is a good way to look at it or expression, because like this, each person that's on this call just right now, everyone in each box that I'm looking at, everyone's got their talent in something different. So it's constantly evolving who the smartest person is in the room. It's not the smartest person. It's what's the topic at hand, because with each topic, you have someone who is the smartest person in the room. And that's when it's important for someone to shut up and realize that this isn't your area. So if this isn't your area of expertise, you shouldn't be talking. You should be listening, because you can become a little bit better by taking that information and not just holding on to it, but applying it. And when people don't execute the information that they've learned, they keep making the same mistakes. So the idea is learn from the mistakes and keep moving forward, because if you stop learning, you're going backwards.
Absolutely.
So I hope going on tonight gave someone some content, some ideas, maybe inspired or motivated someone to say, you know what, that podcast I've been thinking about doing or wanting to do. Stop trying to come up with the perfect podcast. Stop coming up with the perfect video to post. Just put something up, because those who are your friends and those who find it entertaining are going to support you and want to see more. And if people don't like it, then they're going to not respond, not view it. And if they don't, find something else to talk about. Don't just quit. Find something else. Maybe there's another area or something that's more entertaining or funny, or another area where you offer value to people's lives or entertainment, and try that one. But when you look at all the success stories and to look at, I forget her name, Harry Potter, and you look at the amount of rejection, and most people who succeed have been told no over and over and over again, or failed at attempting something over and over and over again. And if you have the mentality that I never fail, I either win or I learn the lesson. And if you really adhere to that and believe it, then you will keep making progress and moving forward. So if anyone can take that message tonight and get out there and try something, whether it's podcasting, TikToking, if that's the way you say it, whatever it is that you're going to do, just give it your all. And if you screw up, screw it. Just one more mistake, and that'll all tie into your highlight reel in the end when you're laying on your deathbed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Amen.
That's all I got. So Melissa, Rob, thank you guys so much. You're awesome. Let's do it again sometime. Set up everything, and I'll sit right here and we'll go.
Yeah, it's
Thank
what
you, guys.
we do. We're definitely more than happy to. You guys have such a great chemistry, like working together, and it doesn't look like Sean's not used to doing this. He seems like he's got a good handle on things. And Chris, you obviously you look very used to doing this. So, but no, y'all did a great job.
That's why I wear black. I'm sweating.
Thank you everybody for having us. We definitely like to do our part to be able to give voices wherever we can for all aspects of the community and for everybody who's a part of that. That's what we set out to do with VBT, and we always feel privileged to be able to give voice to people that really, really want to speak. It really, really is a beautiful thing. There's so much happening within our community, and there's so much that we can all learn from each other, whether that happens to be a success, a skill, a mistake. It's all things, there's all aspects and ways of which we can learn from each other and grow. And it's a beautiful thing about being a human being, and it's a beautiful thing to be able to share that with all of you here. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Adios.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Any last remarks?
Any last remarks?
Happy Sunday.
Chris.
Enjoy
I was
Cinco
gonna
de
say,
Mayo on Tuesday. Have tequila. I don't know.
I would say tomorrow's Monday, so let's wake up and get it.
Yeah.
Sounds good, man.
Well, thanks for everyone
Thank
for
you.
tuning in, for the VBT family, for dropping by to show the sport to Connects, to the My Mistakes podcast, and to Chris and Sean for letting us learn from mistakes that we didn't have to make.
Stay tuned for the Better You Than Me podcast coming up soon.
Yeah.
First,
Thank you, guys.
Julie.
What about
Cool.
the
Have a great
Pickle Jar
night, everyone.
podcast? Pickle Jar podcast.
The Pickle Jar Podcast. Get
Yep.
those pickles.
All right, guys.
All right. Take care, everybody. Have a
Bye.
beautiful night. Stay tuned for more stuff.